watching the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone. Click on the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it.
All right, bro, let's kick it. Ladies and gentlemen, alex.hernandez Hernandez. If you got any real estate questions, hit him up. He's in the Northern Bay Area, Peninsula area. That's my little brother. All right, bro, we're going to do my picks and we're going to recap. So let's just dive into my picks. Who do I have? I had Detroit minus 6.5 over Tampa Bay. They covered. Tampa, Baker basically had a drive to throw, to come back and tie the game, but he threw an interception.
No.
Detroit covered spread. I had the Niners over the Packers minus 9.5. I thought they were going to cover. I was wrong, but hey, my Niners won on the money line. We're going to get into that here in a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Ravens over Houston. I thought Houston was going to make it a tight ball game. It looked like it was going to be a tight ball game up until halftime, and then Houston came back and they took over the game in the second half. And then the Chiefs upset the Bills. Do I gotta say any more? Are we really gonna doubt Patrick Mahomes? Like, come on. I ain't gonna doubt him. I put my money with Patrick. So yeah, those were my picks. I went 2-2 on the spread. I went 4-0 on the money line. Hopefully you guys parlayed my picks on the money line so you can make a decent amount of money. It was a winning week for me personally. I don't know about y'all's, but I like to pick winners, and I usually pick winners. I'm still figuring out the spread, but the money line, I got you on that one. Moving on to recaps, bro. Let's go. Let's start off with the first game of the weekend. Ravens versus the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I think last week, I had the Ravens winning, and you said it was going to be close.
I thought it
But
was.
I kind of knew, at first, the first half had me, but then, they started to pick it up, and I think they really played. They started really to play. I thought, CJ Stroud was going to throw a pick, but he didn't. So yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens did what I knew they were going to do. So yeah, I mean, that one wasn't really a surprise to me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be a closer game, especially because Marlon Humphreys was out, and it looked up until halftime like, hey, Houston's defense, they had Lamar contained, they had his number, but then the second half they literally unleashed Lamar. He went 16 for 22 for 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 252 total yards, and 4 TDs. Come on, like.
Yeah.
If he don't win unanimous MVP, and CJ Stroud,
he's a star. Hey, he's a star though. He's a star.
He's a star. He's a future star, but nobody wants to say he could be a system quarterback either. I mean, he went 19
He's not a system quarterback.
175 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
He's not a system quarterback.
Hey, he was dinking the ball.
That Ravens defense is solid.
Okay. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because we all I'm gonna ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming out with a special N-Xtra Hot Take of just where I break down Brock Purdy's first 25 or so career games, including the playoffs. So I think it's like 30 games or whatever, and compare it to all the other elite quarterbacks because it's just getting fucking ridiculous how we keep moving the goalpost on my guy Brock Purdy. Anyway, that's neither the here nor there. But we got to also take into account what's his name? Bobby Slowick, his offensive coordinator. He's in line for a potential head coaching position this offseason.
Is that the offensive coordinator?
That's the offensive coordinator. He's from Kyle. He used to be the wide receiver coach or one of the coaches for the San Francisco Niners, and then he went with D'Amico to the Houston Texans. And if he leaves, honestly, they should bring not Mike LaFleur. They should get Mike LaFleur to come back because it's the same style of offense, and he'd actually have a quarterback. I am a fan of Mike LaFleur's play calling. It's just that he doesn't have he never had a good quarterback in in Zach Wilson. And if they're gonna lose out on his CJ's offensive coordinator, they might as well go out and try to get Mike LaFleur, who would be an excellent pairing with CJ Stroud if they were to lose out on Bobby Slowick. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like the offense just wouldn't be the same. I think this year they've had a lot of success, but it's because Lamar isn't running first. He's looking to throw the ball, he's staying in the pocket, he has his eyes downfield. So I think, I think he'll still be a good like team offensively,
The
but
Texans or the Ravens?
the Ravens.
I wasn't
You
talking
talking
about.
about the Texans?
I was talking about the Texans.
Oh, I still think they'll still be a good team, regardless. CJ Stroud is that
Todd
guy.
Monken is the Ravens head coach. I'm talking about Ben Slowick. He's the He's the Houston
Oh,
Texans.
Texans. Yeah, yeah, no, but I still think they'll probably be a good team. I mean, CJ Stroud is, I think he's already probably
CJ
top
Stroud
five.
is special, but look at what
He's
happened,
not a system quarterback.
bro. Look at what happened to what's it called to Jalen Hurts as soon as his offensive coordinator left.
Yeah, but okay, come on now. That's just a terrible, terrible OC. Like those plays are so predictable.
Okay, but if they don't bring in the right offensive coordinator to pair with CJ Stroud, and that's why I keep
That's
advocating.
for any quarterback. If you
That's why
give
I'm advocating for my team. But
if
I'm
you
also
give
saying,
Brock
like,
Purdy a trash quarterback, OC, he's not going to be great.
okay, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we keep saying, like, if the narrative is still gonna continue, oh, Brock Purdy is a system quarterback, like, because that's all I've been hearing since he fucking came back from the fucking, like, now they're moving the goalpost. When everything isn't under the best of circumstances, and he fucking pulls it out, like he really did pull that drive out of his ass, and I'll break that down here in a bit, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
look, let's just get into it. I mean,
All right,
okay. I mean, the
so let's
Ravens
listen.
beating Houston, that was not surprising.
Ravens,
Niners versus Packers, second game
Ravens
of
are
that
healthy.
that
Mark
day.
Andrews is coming back, and I'm waiting to see the injury report that comes out Thursday before we do our we shoot the next episode. Um, so I could give you guys our picks because that game against the Ravens, I have the Ravens winning, but like again, I'd take Mahomes in the points at this point in time because Mahomes is great. Am I wrong?
I'm taking the Ravens against the
Ravens
Chiefs.
are gonna
That
win,
the Ravens are gonna win.
but yeah. But do you think
It's
it's
gonna be a
gonna blow
great
out?
game. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be one of the, it's gonna be a spectacular game, but it's gonna be close for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. But let's get into the Niners. I mean, okay, Brock, I'll go first because I know you'd like, you're a little, sensitive to this topic. But I thought, I saw the
Got
footage.
notes.
I
I
reviewed
got
the footage.
notes. I got notes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not joking. I came prepared.
Look, I reviewed the footage.
We
Okay.
all reviewed the footage.
I saw
He
some
played like
film,
ass. He played like ass. But what did I
but when
say?
it
What did I say
mattered,
on Friday?
he came through.
Bro, Brock Purdy, when he starts and finishes a game in the playoffs and he's healthy, undefeated. So
It's a
far.
small sample size.
I understand. I understand. I understand. But
No, no, no. But the thing about this game
second
that
year
stood out,
quarterback,
hold
hold
on
on.
now. Hold on, hold on.
Second
No,
year
no, no. Hold on, hold on,
quarterback,
hold on.
back-to-back years, he's gotten the team to the NFC Championship game.
No, but hold on now. Hold on. The thing that was different about this game than all the other games is that he came from behind, right?
Dude,
So this game
he
was
lost
for his
Debo, and
confidence.
Kyle wasn't adjusting. Because at the end of the day, regardless, I'll give everybody, okay, if he's a
Oh,
system quarterback, he's not going to audible out of Kyle's calls, right?
no, well, he put Jawan in for like Debo's plays, right? To be
He
honest, I don't think
forgot
the
that he
audio
had
was a lot.
Juwan out there. If you saw the press conference, he openly admitted that he forgot that Juwan was out there, and they're like, "Oh, why is Juwan getting a carry?" He
Yeah, I mean, Kyle put in Jawan for Debo. I mean, but hey, he made a big play. He made a big play. You had Collins make a big play, or Conley, sorry, Conley make a big play on that final drive for the Niners, and Brock did his thing. So like, it was a good win. Great confidence booster. Great confidence booster. But he did play bad. And if
played like ass. I'm not gonna say he played great because he played like ass, especially because we know that he can't grip the ball in fucking rain. Oh my god! And Kyle, what are we like? Okay, and can we just admit that like can we give so this is the reason why I'm such a Brock Purdy advocate. Kyle has been 0-30 in games that he's trailed by 7 points going into the fucking fourth quarter, right? Never won a fucking game. We have a fucking special quarterback. He's a year two quarterback. People forget he's literally a year two quarterback with only getting into the season with 5 starts. What was it? 8 total starts if you include the playoffs. Okay. He's still developing. Yes, in the regular season, we saw him go through his slumps because he's a year two quarterback. But look at when it mattered the most. There was reports coming out that what was he doing? He was studying the greats and studying what they do and their decision making when it mattered the most. And what ended up happening? When the drive mattered the most, I'm just gonna say it right here. I have it written down right here. Game-winning drive, Brock Purdy, 6 of 7, 47 passing yards, two carries, 11 rushing yards. Okay. Responsible for 58 total yards on that drive. McCaffrey got the touchdown, but he rushed for two. He only rushed twice for how many yards? He rushed twice for he rushed 4 times for 16 yards and 2 times for he got 2 receptions for 5 yards. 21 yards responsible. Yeah, I'll give you. McCaffrey is a great weapon. But can we give Brock Purdy some respect for showing that he is special when it matters the most? He comes through. He doesn't flex, he doesn't trip. And I don't care. He threw balls at the Green Bay Packers. Okay, how many times have we discussed the Mahomes non-interceptions? Because there have been times where Mahomes has thrown it to the opposing team, and they even have done this to Mahomes, where he's thrown it to the opposing teams, but the opposing team hasn't been able to catch the ball. So it's not an interception. We can't we don't penalize Mahomes. We shouldn't penalize Brock Purdy for that. He's a year
Patrick
two
Mahomes
quarterback.
has 2 Super Bowls.
Dude, I'm talking about before that. And this is another thing. I'm gonna break
What do you
down
mean before that?
guys.
Every year since he started, he's been to the AFC Championship
You
game
know
at
the fun. Okay, and every year since Brock Purdy has been in the league, he's been to the NFC Championship game. Like
yeah, but it's only been
I'm
2 years compared to Patrick Mahomes 6, and
so
Patrick
this,
Mahomes has 2 Super Bowls on top of
okay.
that,
So
and
this
he has
is this
MVP.
is the thing that I think people are afraid to do. Because if we really compare Patrick Mahomes' first 2 years in the league, where he didn't start and then started, and even if we add the third year, Brock Purdy is on par with Mahomes. Nobody wants to talk about that. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, and Kareem Hunt when he came into the league. He didn't have scrubs. That team, when he came onto the Kansas City Chiefs, was built with Alex Smith as the quarterback. And then Andy knew he needed a quarterback, and that's why he went and got Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy,
Look, statistically, he's on par, I guess you could say. But he just doesn't
statistically,
have the
can
accolades.
okay,
He just
and
doesn't
with
have the
what he's
accolades
done.
to really hold that title yet.
So hold on, when in Patrick Mahomes' first year starting, when he won the MVP, and let's not forget Brock Purdy was in the MVP discussion until that game against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes lost the AFC Championship game against who? Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But he lost his first AFC Championship. Brock Purdy and then what happened? The second time he went to the playoffs, he made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and then he beat our ass. This is Brock Purdy's second time to the NFC Championship game, and when all things, and this is why I was pissed off that Kyle literally sat Brock Purdy on week 18, because Brock Purdy is still a year two quarterback who doesn't have 2 full seasons of development. You can't sit him down. He's still developing. He needed to be at least out there for a drive. You can't rest him and let him get cold. That's why he struggled too. Like the offense struggled because he can't grip the ball in the rain. He was uncomfortable using the glove, and he had also been sitting for 3 weeks. He hadn't seen any live game action, and now that we've seen live game action, I'm saying that Detroit game is going to come down to a field goal, and that's why I'm saying I hope we can count on Jake Moody to come through for us. Because what did I say last week? Can I rely on Jake Moody to kick a fucking field goal?
But hold on now. You said last week we were gonna blow him out. So we didn't
I
do that.
did. I
I
did.
did
What
too.
did I
I thought we was
also
gonna
say?
blow him out too.
No, you didn't. You said it. You thought it was going to be a close game. I thought we
I'm
were.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure I thought it was gonna be a blowout.
No, no, no. Like if you look at that clip, you were like, "Nah, it's going to be a close game." We got to give Packers a respect. And then I started to go off, and I'm like, "Yo, I could see Brock Purdy if it all comes down to it." And you were like, "Nah." Like that's when you flipped. That's when you flipped. But that's why I'm saying, I have faith in Brock Purdy for a number of reasons. And people are just not trying to give him his respect because he's a 7th round pick. He's a second-year quarterback, ladies and gentlemen.
He's playing good. Statistically, if you look
Hasn't
at the
even
stats,
played 2 full
if
seasons of football in the
if you look at the
NFL.
stats on paper, it looks beautiful. It looks great. But I think the thing that people just can't accept is the fact that yes, he is a 7th round pick. And
Dude,
two, he just isn't as talented with his arm as like Patrick Mahomes or like Josh
No,
Allen
his hands are small.
or
He
Matthew
look
Stafford or like Lamar. Oh, not really Lamar, but he's just not as talented. He doesn't have like a rocket of an arm.
when
He
it
doesn't have
comes down to
a
making the
bomb of a
plays when it
ball that he
matters
can
the most.
throw.
And this is like another thing. How can people say they're more impressed by Jordan Love, who fucking threw, what was it, 21 to 34, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He didn't run. That's total yards. He didn't run. Like how many? If I include his carries, he had 5 carries for 3 yards. He had under 200 total yards, ladies and gentlemen. He had a 72.4 rating, 44.6 QBR. Yes, he scored 2 touchdowns on our defense. And okay, and this is also another thing. We held him to 194 passing yards, okay? Like, I don't understand the hate towards Ambry Thomas. Like, who do you want out there? What was the other dude? Isaiah Stewart or Oliver or whatever the fuck his name was, who was consistently getting burned out there at the nickel corner position, or Sammy Womack, who can't get on the field for some reason and wouldn't have the experience that he needs in this crucial moment. Ambry Thomas, like 2 or 3 years ago when we made the NFC Championship game, he was the starter over Diamador Lenore. He's been in this position. Guys, we literally held them to 194 yards, and our defense did what it was supposed to be doing. Yeah, Ambry, what are you doing with that pass interference, holding on the wide receiver? But when it came down to short goal situations, they had him on lock. They had him on lock. Our secondary matches up.
No, he did not, dude.
Dude, our secondary's good. They're not Kansas City good, but they're the third best behind the Baltimore Ravens. They're the third best
No.
right now.
I'll
You
give you Charvarius Ward. I'll take Charvarius Ward for the most part against any, for the
Bro,
most part.
I'm telling you,
But they're
like out
not
of the
a
four
great,
teams
they
remaining,
don't have a
we're at
great
least
DB
the
room.
third best. We're at least the third best secondary.
No.
You
I
think Detroit's is better than us?
maybe not Detroit's, but I
That's why I'm
don't
saying,
I
Alex,
don't
there are
think.
only 4 teams remaining.
Oh, you're
So
talking about playoffs.
yeah. I'm talking about the playoffs. Out of the 4 teams remaining, we're the third best team with we have the third best secondary.
Yeah, and that's not
There
great.
is a large enough gap between the Detroit fourth and our third.
No.
I
Maybe.
bro, are you kidding me? Dre Greenlaw, pass coverage guy. Fred Warner, come on. Tashawn Gibson.
I'm not talking about the linebackers. I'm talking about the DBs.
Okay, and I trust
Our
Tashawn
corners.
Gibson. I trust our corners. I trust all 3 of them. They did their bro. We
No.
only held them to 194 passing yards.
No. I'm
We
sorry.
only held them to
I don't
194
trust them.
passing
I
yards.
trust Ward, but I don't really trust anybody else on that, secondary, at
Oh my
least,
God.
when it comes to like Ambry or Lenore.
I do. I
I
do.
don't.
I do. Okay, maybe okay. What I mean by trust is I trust that they're not gonna let up touchdowns.
No.
Will they give up a crucial pass interference? Maybe. But I trust that they'll get the stop. Or at least, like I trust that they'll get a stop.
I don't. But that we'll see against Detroit when they play. I mean, Detroit is a good team. They beat the Bucs. Baker
Brock
can
Purdy,
play.
86.7 rating, 61.9 QBR, 1 touchdown, no interception, 6 carries, 14 yards, 252 yards. Okay, like he couldn't throw the fucking ball, but somehow he was still able to come up with 252 yards. How is that not more impressive than Jordan Love's? Okay, he threw 2 touchdowns, but those touchdowns were literally on bubble and slant routes. Come on. Those weren't like bombs. Maybe the first one was, but the second one I'm pretty sure
Brock
wasn't.
didn't have a bomb. He didn't have a bomb.
To
He had,
Kittle?
he
The
had, he
only
had
touchdown he scored, that was a bomb to
that
Kittle.
was probably a bomb, but aside from that, there wasn't anything really. I mean, he had a couple of nice throws inside to the
Still
middle,
ended up with
corner,
252
or an
passing
out
yards,
route.
Alex. Still
Huh?
ended up with 252 passing yards.
No, he did play good, but I'm just saying, like,
He didn't play great. He played like shit.
he played decent enough for us to win. The only
But
bad
like
part
that's what I'm
about the
also
game would have been
saying.
if he would have
Like
turned.
that's what I'm also saying. Yo, if we really look at his numbers, didn't turn the ball over, 252 passing yards, 6 carries, 14 yards. He was even more mobile than fucking Jordan Love. Like, I don't get the disrespect for my guy. Uh, and this is the second time in the NFC Championship game. And I'm against I like I'm saying this like he's gonna make it to the Super Bowl. What happens in the Super Bowl is we're yet to find out. But I'm betting that the Niners are gonna beat Detroit. It'll be a close game, and we're making the Super Bowl. And ooh, and honestly, like I'd say that it might not even be that close right now because Brock Purdy and the team is now on offense. And we found something with Chris Conley and Juwan Jennings that we didn't have before with Debo being out. I
I
really
think
do believe we found something with Chris Conley and Juwan Jennings, especially with that weather. We didn't have that. I didn't see that in the 3-game losing streak that we had. Did you?
I don't know. I thought I think for that 3-game losing streak, it was just a lot of miscommunication, and now they're getting it down between Jawan. But I think, to be honest, the biggest catalyst was probably George. Like, I feel like George steps up when it matters most in big games. Like, he dropped a couple, a pass, but when it matters most, I'm throwing the ball to George.
Can we also talk about Kyle Shanahan's play calling?
Hey, man,
He wasn't
game.
adjusting.
We won the game.
Okay, but
We won the
we
game.
won the game because of Brock Purdy being clutch when it mattered. We
We
didn't
won
win
the
because
game.
of Kyle's play calling. Because Christian McCaffrey, 17 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Why the fuck isn't he getting more carries? Or why aren't we rotating him if it's a amount of carries thing with him? Elijah Mitchell does not turn the ball over. His only flaw is being injury prone. Other than that, he doesn't fumble the ball. I trust Elijah Mitchell. If you got to split carries between him and McCaffrey, split him, but pound the ball. And that's something I hope we do against Detroit because Detroit lets up 5 yards of carry. Like I've been doing my research. Yes, Detroit lets up 5 yards of carry. Like there's no reason why we need to be putting so much. Okay, Brock Purdy, and I love Brock Purdy because he really did come up clutch for us. But we need to pound the ball with CMC, especially against Detroit, who lets up 5 yards of carry, guys. They get 4 yards of carry. So we need to shore up that defensive line, get those walls like shored up, maybe rush 5, drop, ooh, rush 5. Ooh, I don't know. But they average 4 yards a carry, but they let up 5 yards a carry, guys. We have the best running back in the league. Arguably, I'd say Elijah Mitchell. He's so underrated right now because he hasn't seen any real game action in the last 2-3 years that people have forgotten what he was like before CMC was there.
So basically, you're saying that Niners need to run the ball against Detroit.
Yeah, they need to pound the fucking rock. They should have pound the rock against Green Bay. If they had pound the rock and legitimately put it on CMC's back, that game wouldn't have been close. Because in 17 carries, he had 98 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I mean, I think you have to take into account that, like, offensively in that first half, Packers had the majority of, like,
Yeah.
the clock.
No,
Like,
I'm
they
not
had the
gonna
ball for
lie.
the majority of the time. So, like, when you're down and you don't have the ball, you have to throw. I mean, you have no choice because if you run the
No,
ball,
you're right.
you
You're
screwing
right.
yourself.
But why are we going on into so many empty sets?
That's just the offense.
I guess against them it was. All I know
So
is,
we'll see. I mean, this game against Detroit, the way I look at it is, if Debo plays, we
can
win.
I be honest with
If
you?
Debo doesn't play, it's going to be a really close game, maybe come down to like 3 points, maybe a touchdown.
So the CAT scan or whatever came back negative. Debo has a good chance of playing. We'll see how the injury report. Right now it's 50-50,
He
but
probably will play. I mean,
he's
they'll
gonna
probably
play.
put like some
Like
medicine in that
that was
shoulder or
negative.
something.
He didn't have an injury. I think they were just protecting him from a concussion. And honestly, bro, talk about a time to show like that's the first time I'm gonna like be honest. That's the first time in Brock Purdy's career that I've seen him like when he's been down and he like when you know how they say poised. Like when like there was a rush where he ran the ball for 9 yards towards the end of that drive where he just looked like he was the person in that moment. He looked like a Mahomes. He looked like a Joe Burrow or a fucking a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson. Like going and driving us in that moment into that spot of the field. That's what he looked like. And I'm just like, that's when I'm like, oh my God, we actually have a special guy. I'll admit it. I didn't see that type of special like during the regular season when I needed him to prove it when the circumstances weren't the best. But
I
this
think we have
situation,
different definitions of special though. Like I think he's a great maybe processor. He's a good quarterback.
year two,
But like for me,
do you not
special
think he's
is
gonna
like,
get better?
yeah, okay, but listen. I think special in my definition is like a Patrick Mahomes. Like, okay, yes, you have the IQ. Brock has the IQ to play. But for me, special is like, okay, do you have a cannon of an arm? Like, okay, can you
Showed
make
it
like
last. Okay, before
incredible
he got
plays,
injured.
like these
Okay,
sidearm throws or whatever?
before he got injured last year
You cannot say he had a cannon of an
against the
arm.
Dolphins against Tampa Bay, he showed it. He did
A
show it.
cannon of an arm?
He showed it. I don't care what anybody says. He showed it. I will bet you anything. Next year when he comes back, hopefully after we win the Super Bowl, when he comes back, has a full off season of rest and recovery. When he has a full off
He'll be
like
better for sure. Absolutely, he'll be
bro,
better.
year
But
three,
he's not
healthier
throwing
arm,
fireballs.
Alex. He'll be able to see the game at another level. How many years was it for Patrick Mahomes being in the league before he got to that next level and was able to read defenses?
Dude, didn't he win a Super Bowl his second year?
No, he was second year starting, third year in the league.
Starting, yeah, starting. That's
Second
what I
year
mean.
starting, third year in the league. Took him 3 years because he was sitting behind Alex Smith's rookie year.
But still, I think,
Brock Purdy,
hey,
second year in the league, second time in the NFC Championship game, has under 34 starts, which is 2 full seasons now. Has basically under 30. He's still under 32 starts. Under 32 starts. Twice in
yeah,
a
I still
year.
think our definitions of special are different though. Like he's a special maybe processor, IQ player, quarterback. Sure, I'll give you that. But like in terms
It
of like
matters. I'll
throwing
take Brock.
a cannonball for like a throw, like that's different. To me, that's special.
Hey, I don't know.
Like I said, we'll see against Detroit how the game goes. I mean, let's talk about Detroit. I mean, Detroit, I knew they were gonna win. Well, I take that back. I said the Bucs were gonna win. I wanted the Bucs to win because of Baker, but Detroit was the better team. Baker, what, threw 2 picks, I think? Yeah. He threw 2 picks,
That was a
one.
back and forth game.
It had me on the edge of my seat. I was really watching that game. That game was good.
That
That game was really
secondary
good.
can't be had.
Yeah, no, that game was good, but that secondary, I think they let him down for sure. I thought Jared Goff played great. I thought he was gonna throw a pick.
287, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So
Yeah.
hey, so that game was also close. That game
Yeah.
was also close. Like they're giving the Lions so much credit for beating the Bucs at home and whatnot or whatever, but they aren't touching base on the non-interceptions that Goff threw. And I'm sorry I keep touching this, but they are talking about the non-interceptions Brock Purdy threw. But when it mattered, came back and won the game. Neither here nor there. Either way, good for Goff. He had 6 carries, 6 yards, 293 yards. Total combined 2 touchdowns. Uh, their rush, their deep, they average 4 yards a carry, 4.4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean,
What's here?
I no, I think the a big thing
Jahmyr
about that.
Gibbs averaged 8 yards a carry when he got the ball.
No, I think the big thing about Detroit is that their O-line was getting banged up that game. So like if they're still banged up going against us, I mean, that's gonna be bad for their run game because I mean, we're gonna be healthy, we're gonna be fine. So yeah, I feel
Knock
like
on wood. We got it. Knock on wood. I'm
so
knocking on wood now.
so I hope, for that game, they are a little banged up for us, But yeah, I mean, it was a good game. They played really good, so can't really say too much about them.
Well, Baker earned a long-term deal, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I do too.
Yeah, yeah,
$40 billion.
yeah. And then
45.
Detroit, we need to shore up that defensive line. We need to stop their run game or whatever. And we need to pound the ball against Detroit because they gave up 5 yards per carry. Let's do a little bit more bubble screen. Hopefully it's not raining like it was this weekend. Because when the weather is not, yeah, when it's not raining, Brock Purdy's fine. Um, and
for the most part.
honestly, Goff, I don't want to say anything. We'll see how this game turns out. Guys, stay tuned for the next episode. Let's take a little brief break, my little bro. We'll be right back and we're gonna dive into the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's gonna be really quick, but there is gonna be a very spicy take that I have. So yeah, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. My little brother here with me today. We're about to recap the Buffalo Bills losing to Kansas City at home. All right, bro, go for it. Oh, really quick before you actually dive into it, Mahomes went 17 for 23, 2 touchdowns, 215 yards, 6 carries for 19 yards, total 2 touchdowns, 234 yards. Pacheco went 15 carries, 1 reception, 97 yards rushing, 14 yards receiving, 1 touchdown, 16 total touches, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Josh Allen, 26 for 39, 86 yards passing, 1 touchdown passing, 12 carries, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns, 258 yards, total, 3 touchdowns responsible for. And then James Cook actually had 22 touches for 82 total yards, no touchdowns. Um, Now, your thoughts?
I'm pretty sure I said the Chiefs are gonna win last week.
Yeah.
I kind of called it. Um, I thought Josh Allen played a little scared, to be honest. I thought, I mean, he played good, but I just didn't think he made big enough plays. I know Stephon Diggs dropped a big one, and like his decline has been a little worrisome. I don't know what it is really, but
I think he
yeah,
just
I
doesn't
thought,
want to be in Buffalo. And I honestly, it might not just be that he doesn't want to be in Buffalo. I think, and I'm gonna get into this here in a second, ladies and gentlemen, because I got a really spicy one. Uh, I think they're done. They're kind of just over Sean McDermott, and I think Sean McDermott has done enough with
Mhm.
with this team. Like he needs to part ways amicably.
I
I
don't know. The Bills are a good team, man. I feel like
so
like
what do they have to do?
they battled through a lot this year, and it's just like, Josh Allen had a terrible year from a turnover perspective, right? But I think in the playoffs he played pretty good. I think this game he was scared of throwing a pick, so he played a little scared. But I mean, Diggs just didn't really show up. Like he could have caught that ball. It was a good ball. He gets paid to make those catches. He didn't catch it. But I mean, the
He might be
Chiefs
done in
own
Buffalo.
them.
He might be done in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He might be.
Yeah, I mean Diggs is what, 30 now? So I don't know, man. We'll see.
I mean, I learned nothing like this is so originally we had in the NFC Championship game. We thought we were gonna face Tampa Bay, but we ended up facing the Packers because they upset the Cowboys, and ended up being we predicted the NFC Championship game. We both saw that it was gonna be Detroit and San Francisco. We thought originally it was gonna be before when we did
Bills
the
and
playoff bracket,
Ravens.
it was gonna be Ravens and the Bills.
Yeah.
And then we saw the wild card weekend happen, and then after more analysis, after breaking things down a lot more, um, we changed our pick, I think, to Kansas City beating the Bills and then the Ravens
Yeah.
because we like that game against the Steelers was a lot closer than it should have been, and then the way Kansas City handled what's it called, Miami, and then what they ended up doing to because bro, like the Bills played scared the entire game, bro. I don't care what anybody says. Why are you fake? Oh, and granted, I think we did that this year where Wisnowski, where we faked where like he faked.
That play was terrible.
He
Jeez.
called his own number because
Jeez.
that wasn't the call. He
It
saw
was
the
the
whole.
it was DeMar Hamlin. It was a play for the guy, but like still, jeez, that was terrible. That was terrible.
That was
But like, damn, bro. Like they really just didn't want to win. I mean, I know what, like it probably came down to like a couple more plays, but geesh, I mean, Chiefs owned them, and now they're gonna go play with the Ravens.
Bro,
So
they did not want to give Mahomes back the ball.
yeah, they
And
didn't.
the playing that game that scared, ugh, I don't know, man. The Chiefs, shout out to the Chiefs defense though. Like that
Oh
defense
yeah, they battled, bro. They played a great game.
this week, that defense is going to be tested with Lamar Jackson. And that's why I'm waiting to see like the updates and things that come out later this week before I make my prediction. Because like I want to stick with my pick in the Baltimore Ravens making the Super Bowl, but I'm not going to give them the points. I have to take Kansas City if they're not favored.
I
That
think
if
they are
that makes
favored.
sense.
I think they
No,
are definitely favored.
they're 3.5 point underdogs against Baltimore. So yeah. So
Mm.
I take the 3.5 points Kansas City right now, but I'll take Baltimore to win. Uh like I wish like I don't know. Cover your bases, people. Just cover your bases. Um
But yeah, I mean that
but
game was. Yeah, I
but
mean that was a
okay,
good game.
okay, so this is my extra spicy take about this. I think the Buffalo Bills should part ways with Sean McDermott and go after Bill Belichick. Because Bill Belichick, okay, how did he end up in New England? He stabbed the New York Jets in the back. He was supposed to be their head coach after Bill Parcells stepped away because he didn't want Bill going back to New England. And Bill said, "Nah, I'm gonna go to New England." Stabbed the Jets in the back. Ended up being the New England Patriots head coach. Dynasty with Tom Brady. What ended up happening this past year with New England? They said, "Bill, thank you for your services. I think it's time for us to part ways." Now, what would be the one of the greatest ways to get back at New England for letting you go, Bill? If you go to the Buffalo
Going
Bills.
to the Bills.
And this is why this would also make sense. Josh Allen is an elite, by all intents and purposes, is an elite quarterback. The only duo to beat uh Patrick Mahomes in the AFC has been Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship. Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow, and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Now Tom Brady is retired, and Tom Brady proved that he can beat Bill. He was the majority reason why they won the Super Bowls in the later part of his career. But Bill Belichick is still in the league, and you give Bill Belichick a top five quarterback like Josh Allen, who has proven that in the AFC, and when it matters, he can beat Mahomes. His defense can stop Mahomes. You just got to give him the right quarterback.
I don't know if
Bill
Josh
took the
is that.
Buffalo Bills.
I don't know if Josh Allen's that quarterback for him though, because he does the turn the ball over, like.
Yeah, but this is also another thing.
And I
Bill
mean, he's a good
coaches
coach, so like maybe he changes that,
Bill
right?
coaches discipline. Bill also
Yeah,
would establish a run, a running, what would establish the run, would establish a
a
running.
run culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
That's, yeah,
that's something Baltimore hasn't been able to figure out. I think if they bring
I
in
mean, Lamar is the run game. Like, let's be real.
for the Ravens,
Yeah, I mean, he
yeah,
absolutely is the run game. He's the whole offense.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mm.
But
But
no, like in Buffalo, I think literally you bring in Bill Belichick, Bill with the Bills. Sounds right to me too. Bill with the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen.
we'll see. I mean, that could be
Hey, that
interesting.
defense has don't
I,
they
I
that
don't I
defense has
don't know if they
players.
fire him though.
I
But
think they should move off of him and they okay, at the very least, through back channels, send out feelers to Bill Belichick and be like, "Hey, Bill, would you be interested in being the head coach of the Buffalo Bills if we were to move off of Sean McDermott for any intents and purposes?" And if
that
Bill
could be
says
interesting.
yes, you make the call. You make the fucking call.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening, to be honest. We'll see, though. I mean, they'll probably make a decision after the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure, but we'll see.
Hopefully, Bill Belichick isn't introduced as the Falcons head coach, because that would be disastrous. That would just be disastrous.
Hey, I don't know. But okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. I mean,
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, do you think they should pay Jordan Love after what he's done this year?
hell yeah. What the hell? Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, that team was not supposed to be in the playoffs.
I don't know about that, but
That team was not supposed to be in the playoffs. That team was supposed to be rebuilding. That team was supposed to be, getting new draft picks for, to build around Jordan Love. They did not expect him to have, I think, this type of year. Like he had a year comparable to like Aaron Rodgers. So like, I think you definitely pay him. They definitely found something in him, I think. Absolutely.
honestly,
Don't even say no.
I'm wait and see.
No, my
Wait and
God.
see. Like, I'll be real with you. He had a great year. First year starting. There's tape on him. Can he take a step forward next year?
In
Bill,
year two when they have tape already. Okay, that's a valid point. That's a valid point.
Brock Purdy, the reason why, like, is so like Brock Purdy after year one, there was 8 games of tape. He's also coming off an injury. He was able to take a step this past year. Can Jordan Love, second year, full season of tape, take a step next year? That's it. If he
I think
can,
he can. But that's a valid point. No, that's a valid point. That's a valid
55
argument.
million, 60 million. And bro, and if he takes the step that everybody assumes that he can take next year, he's gonna be making top 5, if not top of the market, top 5, top 10 quarterback type money next year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I think he should bet on himself. Um,
Yeah.
Great first year. I need to see. Yeah, let's see how he does next year, and hopefully he gets better. Baker, he earned his long-term deal, and he showed that he can clearly be a starter. Now, what Tampa Bay does this offseason is going to go a long way to whether Baker Mayfield and that team are competitive in the future in the South. Because I also expect changes to be coming to the to the Saints with the new offensive coordinator coming in, and to the Falcons if Bill Belichick is the head coach of the Falcons next year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's it, man. I appreciate you for being here, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. You already know.
Appreciate it, bro. We'll be back Friday for the next episode. Stay tuned for some announcements, people. Thank you.
See you guys. Bye.
Time for Empowering with Positivity. The 263rd pick in the NFL Draft, Brock Purdy, yes, the last pick in the NFL Draft, is taking the San Francisco 49ers to the NFC Championship for the second time in his young career. Guys, that is not a fluke. That is a lot of hard work and a lot of self-confidence and a lot of belief. The man has faith, not just in himself, but in God. So if anything, guys, I know sometimes, and again, and I repeat this almost in every episode, in the darkest day, you can be the light, and I mean that with all my heart, guys. To be completely honest with you, Brock Purdy is in the position that he's in right now because he wasn't even supposed to be on the San Francisco 49ers last year. He literally fought his way to be the third string quarterback, and then injuries made him the starting quarterback, and he took us to the NFC Championship game last year. He's taken us to the NFC Championship game this year, and nobody has any belief in him. And it's not a fluke. It's all hard work, dedication, and self-confidence. And if you guys have a little bit of self-confidence, a little bit of motivation, you guys can achieve a lot. I'm not saying you guys are going to be Brock Purdy, but you guys can achieve your goals. You guys can achieve your dreams if you just work hard. Just work hard and believe in yourself. I believe in you guys. In the darkest day, you guys can be the light. If you haven't heard it today, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And moving on to announcements. Later this week, I'm dropping an extra hot take video where I compare Brock Purdy's career with all the other elite quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I'm not doing their entire careers. I'm just going to do the 30 to 30. I think Brock's only played like 28 games, so Brock Purdy's first career 28 games, because that's all he's played, with all the other elite quarterbacks and some legendary quarterbacks. Stay tuned for that. Guys, go check out the crossover episode with me and my buddy Alex.hernandez from A&A Radio. It's a hilarious episode. Hopefully we are going to be putting out another episode soon, so stay tuned for that. And also, episode 9 is dropping on Friday, where I give you guys my conference championship picks. I had a 2-2 week on the spread, but if you parlayed my picks on the money line, you would have had a 4-0 week, and we made money that way. So yes. Stay tuned for more content. Thank you guys for recapping my picks and the divisional round. Guys, please subscribe, like, comment on the video, share this with your friends, family, and your partners. Maybe make some money with my picks. Listen for some positivity, or listen to my sports takes if you guys are into that, or just watch for some positivity. I love to give you guys positive vibes, and I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. You guys just watched the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone. I appreciate you guys for being here. Hopefully you are enjoying this content, and you'll be coming back for more. Stay tuned for more episodes, and contact me at N1 from the _N, or you know what, just check it out on the graphic. Appreciate you guys. Stay tuned. Love you guys. Thank you. Ooh.